Hey, what's happening? Jeff Pish here, coming at you with another beat of the week. Today, we're checking out some 12/8, getting into some 12/8. We did the Afro-Cuban thing a couple weeks ago. This is more backbeat oriented, and we're going to actually delve into some specific variations. I'm going to give you the basic pattern that I'm working with here. This actually came about with a loop that I'm working on shedding over. Louis Palmer just put out recently a loop pack, and it's incredible stuff. Some really great stuff to drum over. So drummers, go check out louispalmer.com and grab his loop pack that he just put out there. It's great to practice to. 20-minute long loops. They're fantastic. So this kind of came out when I was doing some shedding the other day on one of those loops, and decided it's a cool feel to kind of talk about and dig in on a little bit. So let's get to it. As always, here's the basic setup that we're looking at. So we're 12/8, and what that means is 12. If you're not a reader, or if you are a reader, 12/8 time signature means there's 12 eighth notes in each measure. You know, that's the best way to one of the best ways to understand time signature. The top number is what kind, or I'm sorry, top number is how many, the bottom number is what kind. So if you're in 4/4, 4 quarter notes in each measure. If you're in 9/8, 9 eighth notes in a measure. 13/16, there's 13 16th notes in a measure. It's just a simple way to kind of understand what time signature is all about. So check it out. Let's get into breaking this beat down. So I usually start with a kick. I'm going to actually start with a ride cymbal this time. We're just keeping what's on the page would theoretically be eighth notes, all the eighth notes. Now, since we're in 12/8, you can almost refer to it as a triplet feel because everything's in groups of threes. I like to still think of 12/8 in 4. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and so it kind of lines up that way, and that's how I kind of think of it in my head. So, ride pattern. Super simple, all the eighth notes. And that's all there is to it. Easy enough, as we always like to say. All right. Now that's going to change. There's going to be some variation in there as we start to talk about some of the variations we have. Now, snare drum. We're essentially thinking of our backbeat again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Or if you're thinking of it in 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and All right. So let's just do that basic structure, ride, and snare drum. I'll put the click on for this. We're working down tempo. We're at 86 right now. We're looking to get this to around 100 BPM. All right, again, super basic. You were setting this whole thing up. Now we start to get into some of the detailing, some of the inner workings of this groove, if you will, and we shall. So let's add some of these ghost notes in here. So we're going to add some ghosties. Now we're going to start to get a little feel out of it. So the hands are really just kind of this interplay kind of thing. So you'll see the left hand ghost notes will be in between most of these ride cymbals, and then we leave a little space so we can get to that backbeat. So something like this. And as always, remember, we're paying attention to what those inner beats sound like and where they sit as they relate to those accented rimshot beats. Let's continue moving on. Now, let's go ahead and add the kick drum and see how that lays in. So we got 1, 2, bum, 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 bum. All right, so that's kind of our feel in the kick there. So we're just going to layer that in on top, and you can kind of see it as it goes by. Again, down tempo. There's the idea in there. Now, our left foot is going to play a big part in this one. There's a couple different variations I'm going to show you over here that just kind of change the vibe of this whole groove. So let's start off what would be the dotted quarter note. So basically all our downbeats. So let's see what that feels like. And there we go. So there's our quarter notes on the left foot, dotted quarter notes I should call it, on the left foot. Now the next variation with the hi-hat foot is going to play on all of the eighth notes. So the left foot's going to match the right hand. So we're going to play all those over there. Let's see what that feels like and what that does to the vibe. So you can kind of hear there, it gives a little more energy, a little more movement just by changing that one sound source and changing the rhythm of what's happening in there. Now, we're going to really start to twist your noggin, and we're going to put this on every other eighth note. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And see what that does to the vibe as well. So now we're starting to get a little bit polyrhythmic in here because of how this lays out. So let's check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you hear how that completely changes the vibe and the feel of this beat. Nothing changed over on this side of the kit. All we did was adjust what our left foot is doing, and it really can take control and shift the vibe of that beat. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Now, one more variation. Wait, we already did that one. No. We're going to leave it as is. There's that one. Now, the variation that I want to go to next is the ride cymbal. I want to mess with that and create another sound texture within this beat, this groove. So now we're going to take kind of the similar vibe that we have by moving the left foot. We're going to move the right hand to the bell. If you go back and listen to like Vinny playing on with Sting on 7 Days, he does that in that 5/4 groove, and it just helps solidify that odd time in there a little bit by putting those groupings of two, those eighth note rhythms in there. It just gives it a really nice feel. It also works in this context in this 12/8 feel. So I'm going to go with left foot on all the eighth notes, and then we're going to put our variation on our ride cymbal this time. That's probably one of my favorites, almost to my favorite variation. And so these are the little subtle things you can do to start to transform some of these grooves and some of these beats. We started with just that basic pattern. Again, we're in our box, if you will, and then we try different things to venture out. What this does then is creates vocabulary for improvisation. So now we've worked out these different little tweaks we can do within this beat in our structure. And so now we can go to those if the music feels correct in that realm. You know what I mean? So let's go back to our basic groove, what's on the page, and we're gonna kick the tempo up here. Let's go to 100. And I'm gonna groove on this for a little bit just so you can get the feel of where we are with 100 on the basic groove. In the left foot, I'm gonna go with variation. I think it would be variation 3 if we're thinking about it. And that's gonna be every other eighth note over here. And there it is. There's our beat. Now, next step. Now we can improvise around it. All right. So it's all fair game now, but we still want to sit in that 12/8 feel, make it feel nice, feeling our backbeats. Now we have those variations we can go to. We can change up what the hi-hat does, and we see that, something, what seems to be a small adjustment makes a big difference in that feel. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to start off on the basic structure and then kind of go through some of these variations, improvising through different things as they happen. And we'll see how it goes. And there's our beat of the week. Beat of the week. Nice 12/8 feel. Some variations in there that you can check out and mess around with. 12/8 super fun. It's one of my favorite time signatures to play in because there is so much opportunity for variety and subtle things you can do to change up the vibe. So there it is. Another beat of the week down. If you would please, as always, do all the YouTube things. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. We're slowly building up. I love it. Love seeing the numbers start to go up a little bit. Super fun. And I appreciate you. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and we'll catch you on the next one.